Hi and welcome to this triangle pose tutorial. Triangle pose is a posture that has a lot of common misalignments, so we're going to go through some of those today, and I'll also show you some usage of props and other things that can make you express the posture a little bit more fully and more comfortably in your body. First of all, I am on my back patio right now in Virginia, so you could potentially hear some birds. You might hear a tractor. There are cows just past these trees over here, so if you hear that, no, you're not imagining it. It's really happening. You know that I don't know when you're watching this, but right now it is quarantine during the pandemic. So I'm getting creative. This is going to be my new recording space. So thank you so much for joining me today. All right, so triangle pose. I'm going to tell you a few things and then I'll show you them in my body. So first of all, often in triangle pose, we hyperextend or lock out the front knee. So I'm going to be giving you options on how to mitigate that and kind of get more engagement through the front leg. Another big piece of triangle pose is that we try to find the fullest expression of the pose, if you will, which is nonsense. Mostly because this posture and many of the yoga postures that we practice in modern day yoga today were made for prepubescent teenage boys. I don't know about you, that's not really what I am. I am a plus size adult woman, and so adjusting the postures is really important. So we're going to be using blocks, and I'll show you some examples with that. And then also we'll talk about foot placement and different options there, as well as if your shoulders are getting tired or if your back is feeling a little bit of tweakiness. I don't know if that's a word, but it is now. So I will show you all of those things. So first things first, I'm going to show you triangle pose. The Sanskrit for triangle pose is Trikona. This is truly one of my favorite postures. I really enjoy triangle pose. It also leads to my all-time favorite, which is half moon. So yeah, if you've practiced my classes before, you've done triangle pose many times. I incorporate it into a lot of my classes. So triangle pose. The breakdown here, where we have warrior 2 feet, so front toes pointing forward, back foot parallel with the back edge of your mat, and then from here, see how the knee can be locked out? What I'm trying to do is keep a little micro bend in the knee for more engagement, and I use 1, if not 2 blocks on the inside of the front foot. Big open posture, top arm comes up and gaze comes up towards the sky, towards the ceiling, wherever you're practicing. So this is my triangle pose, and I'm going to go through and break down some of the things that we need to keep in mind in triangle pose. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to go back to the front knee situation I was talking about. So you can do this with me or you can watch and then practice it in your body. So warrior 2 feet, front toes pointing forward. So oftentimes in a class, and usually in my classes as well, triangle pose will come right after warrior 2. So if I'm in warrior 2 here, the cue is typically straighten your front leg, then reach forward as far as you can till you can't anymore, and then reach down for triangle pose. So I don't know if you noticed, but right away I tend to lock out my knee. So the human body is really interesting. First of all, we will always take the path of least resistance and try to conserve calories. That's not because we're lazy or because our body won't do it. It's because we are genetically predispositioned to try to conserve calories, because back in the day when we were Neanderthals and like running from lions and tigers and bears, we tried to conserve calories so that we could always have that ability to use them when we needed to run away, to fight, to flight, all that stuff. So that being said, I'm like rambling very fast. I'm going to slow down. That being said, our body naturally, literally will conserve calories and take the path of least resistance. In this posture, that means a locked out front knee. When my knee is locked out, you can see that it almost bows back. It's hyperextending the knee, and that's kind of can wear on the joint over time. But it also means that I'm not doing a lot of work. When my front leg is locked out, there's not a lot of quad engagement. There's not a lot of engagement through my feet and the arch of my feet because my leg's just locked. I just dump all of my weight and all of the engagement into that front knee. So what I'm looking for is, you can see this is a locked out knee. It's really bowing back and locked, like truly my knee is like locked out. What I want to do is put a little bend in the knee, and you'll barely see it. It's just a micro movement. So here's locked out, here's a tiny bend. Still a straight leg, but that immediately makes it so that my calf, my quad, and the arch of my foot have to fire up. So I'm pressing down into the big toe mound. I've got a little bend in my front knee, and I'm pressing all the way down into the earth with the back edge of my back foot. So this is the first thing that we need to do in this posture. So when someone says straighten the leg, think straighten and then soften a bit. So straighten your front leg, notice if you lock it, then put a little bend in it, then reach forward, forward, forward till you can't anymore, reaching, and then down. Traditional alignment is hand all the way on the ground. If I were to bring my hand all the way to the ground and then bring my arm up, I think you can see that my chest is kind of turned towards the ground. This does not feel good on my low back. It's pinching and it's really uncomfortable. So the option here is a block. If it feels good in your body to have your hand flat on the ground or your fingertips touching the earth, that's great. What we don't want is to reach as far down as you can and then be really turned with, see, notice the back of my neck? Like, this looks uncomfortable. So option is one block underneath the hand. We don't want to dump all the weight into this block because then we lose the engagement through the core. So strengthen through your core and press into your feet. See, this is if I'm like slumped down into the block and reaching up. Looks like triangle pose, but I can feel in my low back it's not feeling so hot. But if I press into my feet, engage through my core, and roll the top shoulder back, I'm so much more engaged. I should have so little weight in my bottom hand that if I move it, my body doesn't shift. So this is stability and support. And then I already locked out my knee again, so a little bend in my knee, strong core. I actually like to use 2 blocks. I find that it's a lot more kind on my back. I can really open through my chest. So see this top shoulder? A lot of times in triangle pose, we tend to want to close off here, but what we want is open shoulder, open chest. So think of rolling the back shoulder back and reaching your top arm up. So we've got our foundation set up. We've got a little bend in the knee. We've got strong feet pressing into the front big toe mound, pinky toe side of the back foot. We've got support through the blocks or hand on the earth or maybe one block. Top arm comes high. Some days, depending on how my shoulders are feeling, my shoulder starts to cramp and I slowly start to lose the integrity of the top arm. Another option is hand on the hip, but notice not hand on the hip slumping forward. Hand on the hip with still a big open chest and gaze up. Or you can go hand behind the back for a half bind. This one would be your left hand or back hand reaching across your low back towards your front hip. What? I know that was a lot of directions. So back arm for me, it's my left arm, reaching back and around, and I'm reaching back this way for my right hip. Maybe eventually you work towards a bind there. Or you can bring your hand to your head. I like this one. It's still a lot of work, but it really stretches the low back. Another thing is with our feet here, you can have a wider stance. If you notice that you're a little bit wobbly in this posture and you feel like you're kind of on a tightrope and you might not have that much stability, you can widen the stance of your feet. So instead of a heel to arch alignment, you can find a heel to heel alignment. That makes for a wider stance, more stability in your feet. Gaze comes up. Micro bend in the front knee, reaching high. Do, do, do. The biggest thing in this posture is to remember to build it from the ground up. So stability in our feet, stability in our foundation is going to be the thing that allows us to build the posture, stack it correctly so we can find the fullest expression. So I'm going to run through all of those tips one more time. All right, so we have got triangle pose. From Warrior 2, take an inhale through your nose, big open mouth exhale. Inhale, softly straighten the front knee, little bend. Reach forward, forward, forward till you can't anymore, and then reach down for your shin, the earth, a block, maybe 2. Top arm comes high, open up through the chest, gaze towards the top hand. If you're feeling a little bit wobbly, know that you can always keep your gaze towards the earth. Press into your front big toe mound, pinky toe side of your back foot. Hand can be on the hip, hand can be behind you. Sturdy foundation, strong core. Remember, not a lot of weight in this bottom hand. I can move it, and my body doesn't move. That takes a really strong belly and pressing down into my foundation. That's it, my friends. Triangle pose, Trikonasana. Triangle pose is used to hop into a lot of different postures. In my classes, I often use it to get into half moon or standing splits. So always remember, don't lock out the front knee. Take your time getting into this posture. It's never a rush getting from one posture to the next. Thank you for joining me for this tutorial today, and I look forward to seeing you in the next class.